Killing it.
Work.
All right. Welcome. This is the Culture and Cannabis Podcast, episode 8.
Yes, so happy you got that right.
Yes, episode 8. What's good? I'm here with my ace, my co-host, Full-Time Tony. What's good?
Yo, what's good?
Man, we got a special episode. We got a special guy to me. Brooksie Hussle is here in the building. We're going to dive into his story. We're going to dive into some of the products and some of the things that he's doing, and it's going to be dope. You down for all that?
Yeah. Brooksie, how we doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Good to see you.
I'm doing great. I'm in the building.
Yeah, you are in the building.
Yeah, you already know.
So just to give our listeners who, might be your first episode, the Culture and Cannabis Podcast is all about, the movers, shakers, money makers in the cannabis industry in and around Las Vegas, fully Nevada, California, the whole West Coast. Culture and Cannabis is a monthly event that we do. The next one will be on May 3rd at CMXX in downtown. But the whole point of this is to dive in deeper to the stories of the people, the vendors, and people interested in the cannabis community, as a whole. So that's why we have my good friend Brooksie on the show today.
Yeah.
We'll be diving into his story, kind of talk about what he does and all that good shit.
Nice. That's what it is. Yeah, Brooksie, man, you're doing all kinds of shit, man. We've been connected for a few years now. You got products. You've been a chef. You're in the cannabis game. Like,
man,
listen, if tell us a little bit about yourself. People who don't know what you're doing, let's sum it up really quick. Who are you? What are you doing? What's happening?
Man, I'm Brooksie Hussle, and I'm the inventor of edible Grillz. And yeah, man, I've known you a long time, huh? This is crazy. We've been in the game a long time, JC. And I want to say first and foremost, man, I really appreciate you, because you've really been my mentor along this way. You know what I'm saying? And you've given me a lot of game that a lot of people really have to pay for. You know what I mean? A lot of free game, man. So I really appreciate that. And what's crazy is the one thing that you've taught me, man, is to take the emotion out of it. A lot of us, what we do in this game is we get very emotional because we care about it.
Yes.
A lot of people in this cannabis game, they care about their babies, their businesses, the people that they help, all of that, So what you taught me to do is you taught me to take the emotion out of it. And what's crazy? I was talking to a friend about it the other day. I'm not only in this game, but I'm a black man in this game, and what's crazy about being a black man in America in general is we really only have 2 times that we can show emotion, and that's during sex and during fights, for real, and you can look that up, that's really the only time that we are allowed to really show our stuff, and I'm really an emotional guy, I get very emotional because I care, for real. And so this area kind of gave me another space to kind of express myself, and JC pointed out that I really was expressing myself too much at times. You know what I'm saying? And that a lot of things that I do in this realm, I don't need to show emotion. I need to show leadership, and so I appreciate that, because that made me not only step up as a canna industry person, but it also made me step up as a man. And that's something crazy, dude, that I'll never, ever, ever forget. And yeah, man, I'm emotional because I appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you too.
Yeah,
man.
Damn.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you.
Don't make his head too big.
Hey, man, I just had the intro clean, baby. I'm in the building, baby.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, we started this journey on Culture Cannabis, and I've been producing events for many, many years, and this event has been so special to me because of the people, right? And I've seen what you've kind of gone through, and coming into where it was, they call it the black market, whatever, now coming into the recreational market, and you're not just a cannabis guy, right? You're a business guy. You're passionate, and you're trying to like get the ball down the field, right? And business, and your chosen path has been through cannabis. And when it became legal, right? A lot of people thought that, and it's true, not even thought, it's true. Now that it's legal, it opens up this whole fucking industry, right? Like, so it's just, they call it the green rush, right? Like, people have an opportunity to kind of like participate in what they felt passionate about and make it a business and make it a lifestyle for them. And that's what you've been participating in. And that's just, it's super inspiring to me. And it's been hard for you, right? And it's been hard for everybody. And I've man, for you to say those words to me, it means the world to me. And I just try to, lift my tribe up and the people that participate in our events, as much as I can. And so, man, thank you, bro.
You do a good job, JC, because you really are a leader. And Vegas needs you, because a lot of people aren't stepping up to the plate up here, and if they are, they're doing it for all the wrong reasons. We need people that care, and you genuinely not only care, but what's interesting, and I was thinking about this the other day, because I was looking at past interviews from this show, and just kind of researching and seeing what you guys were doing. I saw the one that you did with Red, and I remember I introduced you to Red back in the day, and I told you from the jump, I was like, this kid is special, he's coming and he's really transforming the culture here, and that's what you're about. And so that's kind of been my mission this whole time, is just linking together people that care. I can tell by your energy right off the bat. That's why a lot of people, they're like, Brooksie doesn't really communicate with us. He doesn't want to work. And it might be because of your energy, for real, seriously, and I'm willing to admit that, because I work with people that are on my same level, because I stopped caring about the money, and I stopped caring about, and that's something you taught me. We remember we were in the car driving, and we were driving to go check out that bar. Remember? I'll never forget it, JC. And we were in the car, and I was telling you about all my money issues. I was like, man, I'm this and that in my house, in the car. And you were like, man, why are you so on the money? That's where you're losing. You're on all of the money and not focusing on your trait, on what you love. If you do what you love, the money will come. And so I've just been doing what you taught me, bro, since the jump. And it seems to be working out. Everybody, I'm sitting here on the podcast, baby. You already know.
We're here with packaged, candy edibles.
Came a long way.
Yes.
Came a long way. I remember I didn't have any sort of packaging, anything, or really when I did the idea, I didn't even know what I had. I had invented the Grillz, and, I was making edibles. I was making cookies and cakes and stuff, and still doing the chef and stuff or whatever. So when I made the Grillz, I just kind of made it, posted it, and kept moving. I didn't even realize what that was. And then it actually took Chef Bray, shout out to Chef Bray. She was like we met at a party, and she was going through my page or whatever. And she was like, yo, man, on your BG Edibles page, I see that you do Grillz. Like, what's up with that? And I was like, yeah, I just kind of was experimenting. Here it is, whatever. And she was like, why don't you go ham with that? Like, that's such a good idea. And we just started going crazy. Yeah. It's been great.
And we're talking about the Kandy Grillz, right?
The Kandy Grillz, man. Yeah, that's my staple. That's what's really getting me a name in this industry. Not saying that I didn't before, but now this is really taken off, and it's great because I'll tell you right now, when I was in the industry before all these years, people took me seriously, but the respect wasn't there. I felt, now that I'm going all the way with this and I'm making it my thing, people are giving me that respect, and it's really because I'm demanding it. Nobody wanted to give me an opportunity, in this thing. And, I went to try to go get mentors and stuff. JC, of course, showed me love, but there was a lot of people in this field in Vegas that put up a lot of walls, and made it to where it was difficult for me to even get connections, so I just created my own lane. I was like, screw it. Yeah, I don't want to cuss on your show.
Oh, you could say fuck
I can cuss. I was like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, fuck that shit. I'm going to go and I'm going to create my own lane because I'm smart enough to do so, and that's what I want to tell everybody right now is don't doubt yourself, because I was working a 9 to 5, working at Staples office supply. That's where I first started, and I moved to Vegas and I was in the canna industry or whatever, but I wasn't really about it. That was just my go have fun after work thing. That wasn't what I was really about. I was about going and getting a paycheck. And one day I woke up, man, and I was like, you know what? I see all these companies getting money. I see all my colleagues in the industry really doing great out there. They're really having fun, and that's what made me want to join. And that's what I forgot. When I first was looking at this industry, it was the smiles. It was the excitement people had. That's what attracted me. Then I got into it and I lost that vision. I was over here trying to make money and be the superstar and be on the gram and be that guy. And I lost the whole thing, bro. Now I'm refocused. Now I'm like, you know what? We're having fun. And everybody can sort of get that through the camera, right? Everybody sees us on the gram and everything. And they're like, wow, these guys are out there killing it, and we don't even care about the sales. We care about you seeing us doing us. And that's the best feeling, man, because we're doing what we love. Yeah, it's tight.
I mean, that's the game, right? And it's so important. And I you know, I have people reach out to me on Instagram, and, you know, artists and rappers, and, you know, let me be your manager, and, you know, just people reaching out, because I put that energy out there on Instagram. I think it's even in my bio. I lift people up and build brands, you know, and it's important to me. And, you know, for creators, right, for people really trying to do their thing. And I think, like, it's the same theme in the cannabis game, in the DJ game, in the live music game, right? You become an artist, you create a product, you kind of either create a song or whatever, and then your focus is to get somebody else to kind of co-sign on what you created and put you on, right? And then 99% of the time it doesn't happen, right? And then people quit and they get frustrated and they're like, fuck it, nobody will give me a chance, right? But man, you've broken through that. And but because what the game is, right, is you got to create on your own terms, right? You know, if you're a DJ, create your own event and book yourself. You know what I mean? If you're a live music artist, create an open mic and book yourself, right? If you're making cannabis products and the dispensaries aren't giving you licensing deals, create your own product, get it licensed, start a business, and just go knocking on doors and selling it, right? And that's what you've done. And it's just, oh, I just fucking love it so much, man. Shout out to Kandy Grillz.
Ooh, Kandy Grillz, man. And shout out to my dog, Paul Wall, you know, because I'll tell you, and we're getting ready to air this pretty soon on Instagram, YouTube, all of that. Basically, that same story, you know, I linked up with Paul Wall, and the second I linked up with him, I saw dollar signs. I was like, oh man, we made it. Mm-hmm. We're going to link with Paul Wall. We're going to sign this deal. It's nothing but yachts and Lamborghinis, and I'll see you guys later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it wasn't that, you know, because it's not Paul's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's mine.
Right.
And so that was hard for me at first, you know, because I almost felt let down, you know, but why? You know, and it took my father really to kind of kick me into gear. He was like, why are you, Paul Wall's giving you props. He's telling you that you are the one, you know, so why are you down, you know? But I was down because of a cosign, and people aren't going to cosign for you. They don't, you know, they're cosigning for them. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
It's very interesting. And, you know, Paul told me, and this is what really fucked me up, is he hopped on the phone with me one day and he was like, yo, man, you know, I really respect you. And I respect everything that you're doing and your team and how you're leading, and everything's looking great. And he was like, I don't want to co-sign with you and do all that, because at the end, you're going to be mad at me. At the end, you're going to realize that you could do this all on your own, and you can, you know? And so that was more than a co-sign, because that was him giving me his faith. You know what I mean? And that was so just, woo, I made it. You know, that's truly making it. You know what I'm saying? Is you're getting the respect of other colleagues in that space that have gone and done greatness before you. You know, Paul's the grill king. You know, he's selling grills left and right and all of that. And for him and Johnny Dang and all those guys to give me the respect that you know that they've shown is just it's wild. It's wild, and I'm proud of myself. You know, I'm proud of myself. And you got to tell yourself that every time, you know, you got to be like, dude, yo, I'm proud of you, man, in the mirror. You know, you got to do that sometimes, because we forget that, you know, we're the engine to all of our businesses. We're the janitor. We're the I was reading David Tran's post the other day. He was saying sometimes you got to be the janitor, the CEO, you know, and I pay attention to all you guys. I pay attention to all of this, you know, because if you want to be great and you want to be the best in your space, you have to do the research. You have to put in the time, the work, the effort. It's just like with Nipsey Hussle passing, you know, and big shout out, RIP to Nipsey Hussle. But I see all these people online, you know, saying that, you know, oh, I want to get educated and I want to do all of this stuff or whatever. But, you know, it starts with you every day getting up and doing it. You know, you can talk about it all you want, but you have to jump in the ring. Mm-hmm. And so what I do is, I educate myself. I watch all of the greats that are in this space, and I copy what they do, or I take little pieces of what they do and make my own thing, you know, or whatever. And on top of that, I go to school, you know, and what's interesting, because a lot of people don't know that I go to UNLV. That's my real job. This cannabis stuff is just, you know, that's all great. School has always been my first job. And I've been at UNLV for about 8 years now. Yeah, it's crazy. But basically, what I was telling my mother the other day is it's wild, because when I first moved to Vegas, I got into UNLV, and UNLV was sitting over here, and my career was sitting over here in the cannabis industry. It was very far apart, right? The closer that I come to graduating, and the closer that this sort of degree process and the manifestation of it is coming to an end, it's coming closer and closer to my business, right? It's forming the house.
Yes.
And it's very interesting because I never thought when I started that school even made sense. I was doing it because my parents told me to go. I was one of those kids. They were like, don't go to the hood, don't join gangs, go to school. And I heard that. I was like, great. If I have the opportunity, I'm going to do it, right? And so while I was in school at first, I was like, why am I doing this? I see all these people over here making cash. Why am I over here? But I never stopped. And people always told me, stop going to school, man. Concentrate over here and everything. And I was like, no, I want to be a well-rounded guy, a well-rounded Black man in the United States of America. This is where I'm plotting. So I need to be as educated and well-rounded as possible so I can be a queen on the chessboard. You know what I mean? And so basically, I just stayed in the game, and I stayed with the passion, the ambition, the everything. And school is tough, man. A lot of people think they're just going to jump in school and just knock it out. That is an emotional roller coaster. You'll be crying one week, and next week you'll be, oh, I got that test. And the next week you're in tears, like talking about you going to quit. And it's up and down, baby. So it's like, imagine doing that with the up and downs of the cannabis industry. I've been dealing with all of that for years now, and a lot of people don't see that. They think I'm just running around here, just smoking and having fun. And I show that, I show you what you want to see, but behind the doors, it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, man. I cry often, but you have to, if you want to be the best. Kobe cried on the court often. He's the best.
Yeah.
So, I see my life and how this is constructing, and it's such a beautiful thing because at first I doubted, just like everybody else. At first I was like, oh, I'm going to quit after a year because this isn't working and da. But it starts with you, baby. It starts with you. You have to be your own self motivator. You have to, and where I get my motivation is the music. You can get it from whatever you want to get it from, but music is what motivates me. When I jump up in the morning, my people will attest to it. I throw on music right off the bat, and it's blasting. All my neighbors hate me, but I need it in order to be me, And so you got to find what motivates you. You got to turn it on full blast, and you just got to go, because my dad taught me this, man, from the jump, that all we have is time, right? No matter what you do on this planet, the clock is still going to tick all through that. So what you do in this space that you have in this life, it matters every day that you wake up. It's only so many seconds in a day. I forget what it is, 80,000 something seconds or some shit, right? Only so many, man. So you got to use that to the fullest. You can't just be at home sleeping. And, I don't get that when people are like, oh, I sleep for 12 hours and shit. Man, I'm a hustler. I take naps. I sleep for 2 hours and I'm back up and I'm grinding because when I retire, I can do that. You have to use your time. You have to use your space. You have to use your connections. You have to use your knowledge. You need to read books. You need to read all the Reader's Digest. You need to pay attention to what these cameramen are doing. You need to pay attention to what your competition's doing, what these dispensaries are. Dude, it's such a big game. Why are you asleep?
Mm-hmm.
For what? Are you trying to be the best or not? And I always tell my friends this. Do you want to do it or not?
That's it.
That's it, baby.
Yeah. What are you getting your degree in?
Interdisciplinary studies. Yeah. Interdisciplinary studies, which is basically the study of all studies. It makes it so when you look at a social issue, you look at it through multiple lenses.
Mm-hmm.
And so the lenses that I've chosen are political science, economics, and African-American history. And what I plan on doing is I plan on furthermore exposing gerrymandering. Hard for me to say with my grilling. Gerrymandering, because what's happening is in the political field.
Can you just explain what?
Sure. Gerrymandering is basically where, and it's mostly a Republican thing that's going on. Democrats do it too, but Republicans take a big advantage of it. And it's basically when you redraw party lines. Okay, so during elections and times like that, Republicans, Democrats, what they'll do is they'll redraw jurisdictions to help them win the vote, right? And so it's detrimental because they'll redraw these party lines that and it affects Black people in a very detrimental way, because what ends up happening is officials that they don't need elected end up getting elected, and they put in these policies that are awful for that area that was redrawn, right? And so basically, I'm going to furthermore expose that gerrymandering needs to be a thing of the past. It needs to stop. You know, we need to go ahead and make these, jurisdictions a permanent thing and just stop it, because literally people's lives are getting affected every time you redraw that map. And so it's a pretty crazy thing. It's a whole nother conversation on this podcast, probably.
We'll definitely have you come back.
Yeah, I'll come back and we'll just talk school. Yeah, But basically what we have is we have a capstone that we need to do before we graduate. And I just started working on mine.
Nice.
And so
you'll graduate in May?
Oh, man, hopefully. Don't say that on here because then they're going to expect it. No, you know what it is basically I'm researching North Carolina. That's where it's happening the most, of course. I know you've heard it on the news, things like that. Yeah. And so for my capstone, I'm recently starting it. You should see my desk. It's just like, I don't even know where to start. Yeah. But we're going to get through it. You know what I mean? We're going to get through it. We're going to get to this graduation. And I don't know what's next for that, but knowledge has always been a thing that my dad told me was forever. He said, don't stop going to school. If they give you the money to go, just go. Why would you not? It's just more knowledge. And if you have to pay the money back, who cares? Yeah. You are knowledgeable. That is worth every penny in the world. And so I'm so in debt, but I don't even care because I'm not in debt here.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, definitely.
So yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing. And just the way that my life is working out, the way that everything's coming together, 10 years from now, I would have never told you that I'd be here sitting with y'all. I thought it would have been something different. I'm from West LA, it's different. I came to Vegas and bought a house and school, and all of these things are all just like, wow, man, it's the work started before here, to get to this. And so, yeah, man, it's one of those things to where you have to take life seriously, man, every second of the day. You can have your fun, but take it serious, man, because you never know. This shit could end tomorrow.
No, definitely.
Yeah, man.
Why did you come out to Vegas? What made you move from LA to Vegas?
School. It was school, and then like
how old were you? 18 at the time?
I was 18, turning 19. I was right on the cusp. Like it was like that summer. Yeah. Like I had just turned 19 probably, and then I moved. But it was interesting because it was more pressure than anything. I'm sure, as you know, when you're 18 and you graduate high school, your parents are like, so what's up, player?
Yeah.
What you doing? So it was that. Plus, my dad, I grew up in a single mom, and it was just me, my mom, and my sister, And so I came up here because my dad lived here. And so I wanted to get to know him, because I seek that male image, always. I always look for mentors and all that, And so I came up here to, get to know him and all of that. We lived with each other for about 6 months, and then he moved to Miami. And it taught me, right, that like you can't force people to do what you want. And I learned that real like off the dribble. You can't force people to do what you want. All you can do, and my mother taught me this, right? All you can do is when things come at you, you grab it and you put it in its place. You can't get emotional, right? Just like we were talking about earlier, you can't get emotional about the stuff. You have to be your own captain of your ship. And when that fish comes on board, when you grab it, you got to put it in the right bin, right? Fishermen, they put the tuna in the tuna bin. They put the, swordfish in the right. You got to catch that fish that's coming at you and put it in the right bin. And so that's just what I did with my father. I love him to death and he loves me. But that whole relationship, instead of getting mad at it, I caught it on board and I put it in its place. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's where it stays. And when I'm ready for it, I open up the drawer and, hey, Pops, what's going on? And then when I'm sick of it, I close that drawer and I move right the fuck on, but I don't let it get me emotional. My ship is still sailing, so that's kind of what I do in a lot of relationships now. It's just kind of like, it is what it is. And you are not going to change it. And all that woe is me shit is out the door, So yeah, I kind of moved out here to meet him. I moved out here because it's Vegas,
Of course.
you know, and I was a single dude, you know, moving out to a really fun town. I had a lot of money at the time, you know, and just a lot of ambition, you know, to see the world, you know, and Vegas made sense again because my dad, school was offering me opportunity, and then you know, just the transient of it, right? Like this is a very international town, and so I was like, hey, you know, that's where I could definitely do something, get discovered. You know, I'm from Hollywood, so it's like, you know, get discovered, blah blah. You never know what's going to happen. And Vegas just kind of seemed like it was a level up from LA. You know, us being from LA, we're very spoiled. You know, we think that every other city in America sucks. You know what I mean? Where like LA is very like, oh, I'm from LA. You know, like, and what's funny is when I left LA, all of my friends thought I was crazy. They were like, why would you leave LA? Like, we have the beach and snowboarding and all this crap. I never seen my friends do none of that shit. I never seen them go snowboarding, nothing. So I'm like, why does that even matter? Right? You know? But yeah, I mean, LA is kind of one of those towns to where, yeah, people think it's the best. But when I left, I realized quickly that it wasn't, you know, and that there's a big world out here. Yeah. And Vegas just made sense, man. I love the people here. The people show me love. I like the community, and I just like the 24/7-ness of Vegas, you know, because again, I'm a hustler. So when I wake up at 3 a.m., I like to be able to call JC, what's up, dog? We working? What's up? You know, we're on the strip now. We work, you know, I like moves like that because it keeps it flowing. You know, I hate that 9 to 5. And then as soon as 6 o'clock happens, everybody quits. Yeah. I hate that. Don't hesitate to call me at 10 if it means us getting to the bag, you know, and getting to the work. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Let's do it. Yeah. You know, so
industries that like take Friday and Saturday off always stress me the fuck out.
Stress. Why do you do that?
Like, I'll take Sunday. You know what I mean? Cool. I'll take Sunday.
Cool. But I got my phone on. It's Sunday, but I got my phone on.
Like the city of Vegas takes off. Like they only do like 4-day work weeks. City of Henderson does like 4-day work weeks. Like Reno City, we don't 4-day work weeks. Like, bro, what gets fucking done in 4 days? Nothing, bro. You're sitting at your desk looking at fucking emails.
That's why they tell you 8 to 10 weeks and all that. Like, yeah, we'll process it and give it about 4 to 6 weeks. And, you know, that's where all that comes from. Yes. You know, processing time. Yeah. I don't mess with that.
Do not fuck with that.
Right.
Listen, I mean, for me, like, you're kind of like a beautiful example of a person that, you know, expresses the journey of, you know, breaking down boundaries, you know, pushing the limits and trying to really create something on your own. And when things aren't just given to you, and you express that in conversations, and when you get to know Brooksie, you know, you convey all that, right? And I think it's just a beautiful thing. And yeah, I've seen you create several things, and right now you've got the edible Grillz.
So we try to put those on.
The edible Grillz. Should we
go ham?
Yeah,
we can go ham.
Can I put it on?
We can go ham. Should I show you? Should I give you a tutorial first?
Yeah,
let me give you the tutorial. Okay. So we're gonna open it up. Let me take my real
grill out.
That's 14 karat. That's 14 karat. You dig?
You do real Grillz as well?
Real Grillz as well, man. Shout out to Gold Teeth LA. That's my sponsor. And a funny story to that, man. That's actually how the Grillz came about. I used to do the LGBT parties back in LA, right? And Gold Teeth LA, which is the grill company, would run them. And it's a woman named Ebony that runs the company. Shout out to Ebony. And she would get DJ Charisma to DJ the events, right? And so they were really big. They would be at really big mansions and things like that. And of course, they would have the grills for shows so you can come and buy, you know, kind of like an Avon thing or something, right? You know, but I saw that. And as I was selling the grills, I was like, or excuse me, selling the edibles, I just kind of thought about that. I was like, man, wouldn't that be crazy, right? And sure enough, it just kind of came together. Ooh, we might want to put these on ice real quick. Let me see.
Fresh out the shop right there.
Fresh out the shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are those infused? No, it's but you can get them infused.
You can get them infused. Hold on, let me take a hit. Yeah.
Do you want to try one on, Tony?
I'm going to try right now. It goes on the bottom?
And you just eat it. And what's tight too, it does get a little glittery. I just sprayed it down. You're gonna have to go like that. Yeah, you're gonna need a little something. JC, you look fresh.
Nothing.
My glitter hella came off. You got a glitter mouth, bro. You looking good though, baby. It's a little bit better when it gives you time to spray.
Those are yummy, man.
But they're good, huh? Yeah. It's like all sour candy. I started doing the sour because everybody was complaining like,
I like the sour.
yeah, the sour's better. Everybody was complaining to me like, nah, it doesn't have that punch. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give y'all some punch.
So, all right. So this is, I really want to frame this up, right? Because when you started these, and I think you know, one of the Culture and Cannabis events might have been the first time you brought them out.
I think so. Yeah, actually, yeah, that was the one at the Rebar.
Yeah, no, I remember that. Yeah, is that the Rebar?
Yeah, it was at Rebar.
Yeah,
you okay with it?
It looks like I just sucked the unicorn's dick.
It really does, though.
It's chill.
So
It's chill.
this is what I really.
These taste fucking amazing.
They are good. They are good.
I want to put it back in my mouth, but I don't want to have glitter.
It's all in your beard and everything, dude. I'm sorry.
I'm No, don't be sorry. These are delicious. This is like a watermelon flavor. What do you got?
I got watermelon too, I think.
Watermelon's fire.
Watermelon.
There's green apple too.
Green apple.
So this is an important point that I want to talk about. And
I know,
let me take the grill out.
Yeah, yeah. Why don't you-
Yeah.
spit,
I'm
spit
hella
out.
glittery too.
Spit out.
I'm done.
Oh man, that's gonna be a
All
great
right.
clip.
So, all right. So you brought him out, and I felt like your main kind of like goal was to get them licensed through a licensed cannabis brand
Yeah.
out here, and it didn't really happen, or it hasn't happened yet, right? And so,
I don't think it's going to.
and okay, well,
Yeah.
and then, but you've had to deal with that fact, and then make some pivots. Like, let's talk about that, right? Because
Sure.
like a lot of people would have been like, "Fuck it," right? I'm done. You know what I mean?
Well, why don't you think it will ever happen? Let's start with that question first.
Sure. I mean, you know what's interesting is business is business, right? And so when you have a business that's working, when merging with another business, it sometimes doesn't make sense, right?
True.
You're already doing something that's working. So why would you even try to mess that up at all? Period, right? And so a lot of these cannabis licensee holders, what they've told me, which is really interesting, is they've told me that, you know, I'm on weed 3.0 and they're on weed 1.0.
Yeah.
I've heard that countless times from, I'd say, at least 15 plus licensee holders, right? Same narrative, right? Which is interesting. But what's wild to me is that cannabis has always been on 7.0, right? Every time you see a product come out, it is to the fullest extent crazy.
Yeah.
You know, where you're like, what are they going to come up with next? Like, that is the craziest product in the, you know, it's always been like that. So what's wrong with me having something like that?
Yeah.
Right. And so basically, I don't want to call haterade. I don't want to say it's some hater stuff or anything like that. What I want to say is that their business is already working and it's not my time, right? Because what's happening is they're selling basic edibles right now. They're getting away with selling chocolate bars and getting away with selling, you know, little hard candies that don't have molds and, you know, they don't need all that expensive stuff. They can just cut it in a sheet, give it to us and charge the maximum amount of money. Why would you want to mess that up?
Yeah, and the flavor on this is honestly really, really good.
Appreciate it.
If you guys haven't tried these edible grills, please try them. Not just
Appreciate that.
Not just for the fun factor of rocking a candy grill, but like the taste is really good.
Bingo. So you know what I'm saying? It's like one of those kind of things to where I get it. You know, and at first I didn't. I was really upset. You know, why am I not getting in here? I'm trying so hard, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I don't have money like them, you know, and even if I did, I think about it every day. If I was balling and had a license and everything, would I let you come into my zone? Probably not.
Yeah.
I'd probably be like, no, we spent the money on this. This is our area. We'll see you later, you know? And so that's what it is. And a lot of times people have an issue hearing no, right? We all have an issue with that. All of us have an issue with denial. and getting told that we can't be here. You know, that's what makes the club so poppin', right? It's like, oh, well, I'm here and you're over there. So, you know what I'm saying? It's that same sort of analogy. And so they're in the club and I'm standing outside the club, and that's okay, you know, because I'm still in the building.
Yeah.
I'm still in the building, you know, and as long as I'm in the building, they're going to respect me,
yeah,
you know, and I demand it, you know, because I'm here and you're not going to get me to go away just because of a little licensee issue. It's just not going to happen. And to answer your question, JC, you know, when I heard the no, you know, I too was in that mind state of, man, I'm just out the game. Why am I doing this? You know, and all this stuff. But then I tapped back into the passion. You have to go back to it. You have to go back to why you're in it in the first place.
Yeah. Remember why you started.
Woo! If I didn't do that, I would have for sure quit. I would have been doing something in a book somewhere or whatever, you know, doing me. But yeah, I went back and I was like, why am I doing this? You know, and once I came to terms and I meditated on it and I figured out why I'm here, then everything else became okay. Right. And then what I ended up doing is I went back to the drawing board. You know, the biggest thing that you're going to hate in this space is going back to the drawing board. Fuck, man. You know how many times I know you, how many times are you going to, I'm still going back. Don't think this shit working in the motherfucker. I still have my hurdles and I still every day go back to it. I have a big whiteboard. You've seen it in my office. That's my drawing board, man. I go back to it and I'm like, damn, what can we try different and see what's going to work? Because that's all you're doing is you're figuring out the puzzle. You're figuring out the pieces and you're seeing what works so you can one day have something that is sustainable and bringing it all in full spectrum, right?
Yeah.
And so basically, I just kind of acknowledged that I could make different lanes. And so I stopped infusing the candy. You know, because I was trying so hard to be a cannabis person when really I was just me. You know what I'm saying? And I needed to embrace that. And so I was like, why am I even trying to put meds in here and all of that? I just make great candy.
Yeah.
So let me just jump in that ring and then that will all come. And so I've jumped in the ring and so far we have 2 shops selling the stuff right now, selling the Grillz. Shout out to The Drop. They're located on Eastern and Flamingo here in Las Vegas. And we also have The Place, which is at the Boulevard Mall here in town on Maryland Parkway. All by UNLV where I go to school,
Nice.
all in my neighborhood where I'm a homeowner. I pay taxes there. I pay business taxes.
Mhm.
I do everything in the community. I don't outsource anything. And I know JC's been hearing me crying nonstop, talking about I'm going to go to a different state and all this. And I'm a homeowner, man. I can't just jump ship. I'm here. You know? So as much as I'm talking, you know, I'm in it to win it, man. I'm locked in for 20 years up in Vegas and I love it. You know,
Yeah.
I want to bring everything to this community.
I mean, you could always infuse it with CBD too, right?
That's what I'm doing. You know, that's what I'm doing. But even then, you know, what's interesting is this CBD game is always changing.
Yes.
The permits and the FDA. And, you know, the last thing I want is a knock on my doorstep for
Yep.
doing something right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The last thing I want is a Fed at my doorstep convicting me of doing something when all I'm trying to do is just create a business and make myself do something legitimate in my life.
Yeah.
You know, that's all I'm trying to do. I don't want to do it illegally. I told you that from the jump. And I know you remember me saying that. I was like, I don't like the black market. I don't, because I'm a black man in America messing with something that is not my lane.
Yeah.
You know, cannabis sales is not for me. All the black people are locked up because of it and all the white men are making money right now. Let's be serious, you know? So me stepping into this ring is already like, what are you doing here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things to where I don't want to step on toes. I don't want to get caught. I don't want to not abide by the rules. I want to do everything possible to make myself legit.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is going down that path to get to legit have been the most hurdles.
Of course.
Way
When
more.
you go down the black path, the black market, no hurdles. People are like, jump in, come on, come on. But when you try to go legit, and that's with anything, whenever you try to do good in life, you're going to feel and see the hurdles.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting because I've translated that to this, right? To this market, to this realm. The further I go to being legitimate, the harder it gets.
Yep.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow. And you think that they would just open the door and let you become legit, but they don't, man.
They don't want you
They
to.
don't want you to.
Yeah.
They want you to get caught.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want you to get caught, because that makes money too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think there's it's almost like a universal rule. Like
Yeah.
Anything that's really good and rewarding, it's just hard.
Oof.
You know what I mean?
Oof.
And that applies to business, it applies to exercise, it applies to everything. You know what I mean? But here's the thing: like what you've been describing is a recipe for longevity.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And so like to do the easy thing, it's the short term shit. You know what I mean? It's your story. I just love your fucking story, bro, because you have all these barriers, right? All these things that you're just kind of like stuck with, you know what I mean? And you're fucking like busting down these walls, and it's just been amazing to watch, to see you navigate through all of it. And when things get hard, right? I'll see it in you, and it gets hard, and I'll reach out to you and try to give whatever I can, and then it makes me so happy to see you end up on the other side of that. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Yeah, and you truly have been a friend, JC. You truly been my friend, man, ever since the jump. Ever since I met you at the first show that you threw. I remember pulling up and Pesos was throwing it. I remember it was the only one that we could consume at.
Right.
And I remember I pulled up and I remember I met you, dude, and I was like, who is this? I was like, who is this dude? But you embraced me, man. You showed me love off the dribble. You know what I'm saying? And it's never been no malice, no nothing. It's been straight real with you, man. And that's what we need more of in this community. We need people to put down that ego. That ego is not your amigo. And it took me a long time with that too. I was very into it, but it will come to you. All these great moments that you're seeking, they're going to come to you within time. If you force it and you go clout chasing, trying to get around these stars and taking all these pictures and doing all this like foo-foo stuff, you're going to miss what you really need to be doing. Instead of you being over at the concert trying to take pictures and do all this crap, you should have been in the kitchen working on your stuff, So you gotta pay attention, man. You got to pay attention and you got to really go after it because, you just got to want it. You got to want it because it's hard, man. You can get lost in the sauce real quick.
Yeah.
Lost in the sauce, man.
Well, what's next, brother? What's down the pipe? What's coming up?
Man, so, the Grillz really are big. Shout out to Pesos again. It looks like we're going to go into Pesos pretty soon here, which is amazing. Yeah, Pesos is really showing us love. And
they should.
Man, I appreciate it because they're right around the corner from my house, and I go to UNLV, it's all right in the neighborhood. It's just working out how I wanted it to, and without even trying, right? More you try to make it go your way, it won't go your way.
Yeah.
More you back up and just let it happen, it'll happen.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. So basically, just working with Pesos right now. We have some other, brands on the East Coast working with us, some CBD distributors trying to come in. It's all love, all some beautiful stuff. We just signed a little deal with New Wave Distribution. Shout out to New Wave because we're on a new wave. So it's just a beautiful thing to sign with New Wave. Perfect, And besides that, I'm going to refocus on the chefs coming up here once I get, my business here a little bit more down packed. I think I am going to revisit the union, because at the end of the day, and this is back to the Nipsey thing, you can preach all you want about wanting to help your community or whatever, but you have to show it, right? And so I'm passionate for chefs. I really feel that chefs really get the short end of the stick. And that's just in the regular chef industry, just being a cook. Then you step into this cannabis field and you get even less, and it's awful because a lot of people right now, they want to do all these dinners and get all these edibles and stuff, but half the time they just have their hand out. It's for free, they don't want to pay. Or if they do pay, they only pay a certain circle of CannaChefs, it's not open to everybody. It's who's famous, And so that's why I invented the union, because I wanted to help and I wanted to job create. And I wanted to bring in opportunities for people that are like me coming up in the game and not make it easier, because it's not going to be, no matter what I do for you, it's not going to be easier at all. But I wanted to kind of give them a better sense of hope and a better path, to getting there. And that's why I did it, man, just to show love and show back, because they all show me love, you know. So I was like, let me show some love and job create, basically, is really what I'm trying to do. Nice. Yeah. So gonna do that, and then I'm gonna have some fun, man. You know, this summer's coming up. Vegas, man. I mean, we got everything. We have the little event, the 420 event coming up. I forget what that is, a little pool party situation or something.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna be at that, you know, and we got a couple other events, and I'm just having fun, man. You know, when these opportunities come, I take them as they come, and if it's something great, cool. If it's not, whatever. But the biggest thing that I learned, man, is to just be quiet, keep your head down, stay focused, get the emotions out, and just do you, you know? So I'm just gonna have some fun this summer. I'm gonna do me. And at the end of the summer, I think you guys will see a big jump up in my game here. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm just enjoying it, man. I'm enjoying it because, again, it could all end tomorrow, you know? So I'm just enjoying it, man. I'm enjoying the fuck out of it. And I appreciate you guys having me on, because I'm really enjoying it, man. Yeah. Enjoying the smiles, enjoying the love and the atmosphere. And that's what it's all about, man. That's why we're here. Yeah. It's not about the dollars and all that shit. It's about the love, man. And I appreciate you guys having me on and showing me that.
Yeah.
For real.
And we're going to have you back on multiple times, bro.
Man, let's do it.
You're going to be a consistent character.
Man, I'm trying to be in here consistent.
Once a quarter, at least.
Hey, at least, baby.
The Brooksie report.
Hey, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm down.
Well, where can they find you on the online?
Woo, you know, I got a bunch of those. So
plug them.
Man, let me start with the website. So you can get me at bgedibles.com. You know, that's the main hub. That's where you can see everything I'm doing. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook under Brooksie Hussle. And that's Brook, Brook. And I tell people like Brook and then the letter C, right? Because people don't get the spelling. So I've been doing that a bunch lately, and people are getting it. People want to call me Brooks, or they want to call me like Brookside or all of this. My name is Brooksie Hussle. Just get it right.
Let them know.
Just get it right. It's Brooksie Hussle. And I'm here to stay, you know? So yeah, man, you can get me on Instagram, Brooksie Hussle. You can get me on Facebook, Brooksie Hussle. I'm also on the Instagram under Kandy_Grillz, right? And you can get me on Facebook with that as well.
Kandy with a K.
Kandy with a K, baby. And then Grillz with a Z at the end. You know we funky. You know we funky. And then last but not least, the Union, you know, and you can find that on Instagram or Facebook at the CannaChef Union, and we're starting signups again on that on Friday.
Oh, dope.
So this coming Friday, and I have a team for that now. I'm kind of stepping back to still focus on the Grillz. My team is very good, man. Shout out to my squad. Drewski, Bankroll over there. Bankroll wraps. He does like the car wraps and everything like that. So if you guys need your car wrapped, holler at my squad. We can put your logos and everything, all that good stuff. Drewski, who I just mentioned before, he's my camera guy. He just makes sure we're looking great, you know, and just having fun out there, and he captures the moments, right? We got my boy Alex, who's running How Original Media out of Florida. He does all the websites and all them cool graphics and logos and everything you guys see that's popping, all the aesthetics, you know what I'm saying? And then we have Chef Joey, who's doing his thing. He's helping me with the gummies, because quiet as it's kept, I suck at making gummies. So he's helping me out with that, you know what I mean? And then to my boy Nato. My boy Nato is just kind of my right-hand man. He's just making sure that I stay focused and I stay on this, you know, because he knows how much it means to me. So shout out to all those guys, man. And if I left anybody out, I apologize. They know my squad. Y'all know who you are. And yeah, man, they're the reason that I'm getting up every day to do this, you know. It's my squad, and it's the love, and it's the way that we embrace each other, man. It's a beautiful thing. And I feel like I finally found my team, you know, and we had talked about that, you know, when you're going through this realm and through this whole thing, it's tough, man. You're going to get rid of a lot of people. You're going to go down a lot of rabbit holes, you know, and oh man, this fucker, he didn't show up, and this fucker didn't send me the pictures on time. And, you know, you're going to deal with a lot of that, you know, but you have to feel that energy, and people have to want to do the same like-minded things that you want to do, you know, and once you find that team, man, it is just, I know, you know, JC, because your team is sitting around you. That energy is something that can't be duplicated. You know, it's one of those things to where once it clicks, wow, you know, and that's what you work hard for. It's not the dollars and all of that. You're working hard to find the team to make memories with. And that's huge. That's huge. Yeah,
Oh,
man. Fuck.
Amen. Listen, man, yeah, way to cap a show out.
Yeah. We out.
Plant the fucking flag.
We appreciate you being
Hey,
here.
you already
man.
know. I appreciate y'all's love, man.
Yes.
You already know. I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for having me on.
All right, we'll catch you guys next time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Peace. Dope.
Whew.
Crushed it, brother.
Yeah, man.